Well, hello everybody, and welcome back. We're here with our diorama. I used the Elmer's clear glue for the water, and it came out pretty good, as you can see there. So I took two chunks and put it in there, and it definitely wanted to level, and it leveled itself out. And then I would just go through. I have this little tool here I got at Wonderfest from, I guess, someone that sells a lot of putty and pottery stuff, tools. I got this and this, which I use for puttying and stuff a lot. You got the straight kind of edge here, and this one's more of a hooked. It works great for putting like spot putties down and stuff in small areas. And then this here I figure would work for something like that too. It's kind of a cool little tool with like, it's got this like little hooky kind of thing here, and then it has like a little cup where you can kind of scrape, or if you wanted to do lines in the clay or something like that. And it's just doubled on each side. But what I was doing is I was poking that down in and popping bubbles that were down low. And then I would just keep tapping and working some of them out. You can see ones that were low, and you just squish, and you can see them starting to work up. And then I'd pop them, and then just keep doing that until they all disappeared. For the most part, there's a couple real tiny ones in there, but ponds and lakes will have bubbles. You know, if you're sitting there fishing, you see like some bubbles come up and stuff. So it's not a big deal. The ones I have, there's one big one there, and I might even be able to pop it. It's set up where you can. I'm just going to leave it alone. It's really not. Now I touched it with this latex glove, and it has wrinkles, and it made it wrinkly, but then it leveled itself back out again. And that bubble might actually be under all the glue. Like it trapped it underneath. But we'll let it go and see if that got rid of it. No, I see it. But what I do is I just cut into it. But we'll leave that alone. It came out pretty good. But what we're going to do today is we're going to use some of this Minwax gel stain, and we're going to color this bottom with it. So it's like a gel that you wipe on, let it set for 3 minutes, and you wipe it off, and you can see some of the grain and stuff like that. So we're going to do this. I did the same thing with the Enterprises base. I'll probably be doing this technique a lot. And then you can actually even put a clear over it too if you wanted to. If you wanted it glossy, or you wanted it in any of the other sheen, satin, matte. So this should be interesting because it's trying to do this without getting it everywhere. So I might move to a different technique. Last time I used a little piece of foam, but I figured with this I could get right up to that edge a little better. And for the most part, it is. And then I'm going to go back around and we'll go back around and touch up the grass at the edge. So far, that's not working too bad. And boy, does that make it look like a finished product there. Trying to keep this hand semi-clean, so I have a semi-clean hand. I think I have those. I gotta go to a hardware store and get more of these, or order them. They're just junk. I use these a lot for sponging on paints. I'll tear them up, but I need to get a sponge that breaks up a little coarser. You can see there's some silver on there. I was dabbing some silver chips. But this will work because this has got that edge. I can dip it right into the gelatin. The jelly. The hardest thing is I need to lift this up to kind of see. But patience is a virtue on this, so we don't get it over the edge, because then we got a lot of touch-ups, which is a lot harder to do with scenic stuff. Alright, now we need to slow it down. It's working really good. Trying not to hit too much of that little brush that's sticking out, but I might end up pulling it out of there anyway because it's sticking past the diorama. That little bush right there. Find it's best once you load up your sponge to start low, because you're going to have some excess on it, and then creep your way up to the edge of the diorama and just slowly, the one thing nice about the sponge brush, it'll hold that form. You can dab it to get it into some of those, because that's the nice thing. These plaques from Hobby Lobbies are kind of in rough state. And I gotta go on to eBay and see if or somewhere and see if I can find some felt, because I want to felt the bottoms of these plaques. So A, it gives it a smoother surface to sit on. B, it hides all the channeling we do for the wires. But hey, what a difference. Yeah, I think we got that bubble. And slowly re-leveling itself. So there it is. Let's put the lid on this. And this sponge is pretty much garbage. No reason to keep that. But we'll be back when and we'll show you what it looks like all wiped down. Okay, there it is with the black done. Definitely makes it look like a finished product. See if I can, just a little tacky. Yeah, but that works good. And like I said, see how it gives a little bit of a sheen. You can see that little bit of a sheen there. So it works perfect. But if you wanted to go a little glossier or satin, you could probably hit it with a clear. But there's what she'll look like from the front. Do it to this camera. Yeah, and the campfire effect's working really nice. So I don't know if I can always hook that one up. Well, yeah, I probably could. And I was gonna, like I said, I was gonna have a separate switch for the lights underneath in the landing base, but I think I'm gonna do away with that idea. I think I'm just gonna have this. You turn this ship on, it's on. This whole model display. But yeah, there we go. Well, all right. I got the saucer on the base. It's glued on. That was fun and tricky. But already tied a resistor to the fire pit's positive. I think that's on, yeah, that's on there pretty good. So what I'm going to do, and I eliminated the white wire. I went up there, cut it, and tied it into the main power up there. I'm just going to have this plug in, so that's what I did. So I eliminated the white wire. That way I don't have to put a switch out here. So I need to get my strippers. I think it's a red shrink tube that goes over it. So let's see. But at least now that I have the ship on, it's actually the ship holds this from touching. So that made a big difference. Let's see if I can get the soldering gun's heat in there. There we go. I feel better about that because down here is where it can happen because they're going to bend. Alright, so the next thing to do is try to measure some of this out where I need to strip it from, and I'm going to say right about there. We need to go this way. Where's the strippers? There we are. Probably should cut this end because it's all boogery and it's not going to want to allow the insulation to slide off nice. I'll cut that boogery end off. Make sure we have what I want. There we go. And see, that'll open up a splice right there. There, and then I just take it and just wrap it around it. Sorry, don't want to know why this camera does this once in a while. What it's doing is it's just shutting itself off every so often. Usually it's when its battery's low, even though it's plugged in, it just doesn't have enough to run. There we go. I'll cut this excess off there. And it looks like we can't go that way, so I can bend this resistor that way. And I could shove some of this back up, I think, up inside the ship. Or even pull some of it. Sorry for my... Oh, I don't want to come up. The light I could pull either direction. Just odd that it's... There it goes. And that gives that a little more slack too. And then this other end, we'll continue on, but let's get this negative going as well. The hardest is I would love to mark it, but in order to do this, oh, that one cut it. Oh, because I forgot to cut that end off. That's exactly why. And everything's got to make everything more complicated. It would have been so much easier just to twist it on it. Just twist around and go. Alright, we'll continue. Continue. There we go. Let's just quick get some solder on her. There we go. I'll hit a little super glue there to hold it. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Alright, well now it's just a jack and it's done. Like I said, it's pretty much that simple. Alright, so how are we going to do this? I guess we could just take these and just have them come right out. That'd probably be the best way to do these. So we don't need this much, and we can have some push back in, but we don't need that much. So it's kind of why I don't want to do it solder outside. I can tuck it all in there. I just need enough room to solder. We can pull them back out to strip them, because it's going to be too close in there. Long one's the negative because you can see it comes up inside and touches the sidewall. You can do them either way, but the power strips I order with the oops, we don't want to do that yet. I order them with the tips as positive. You can get universal ones that you change it. From the inside, and you just give it a squinch over like a little hook. I hate when I don't have a place to rest my. There we go, negatives down. Nice. Strip the positive. Now I hope I have a power supply for this. I might have to, I know I need to order more power supplies. I usually get 1.5, 2 amps. It's good to go large. Most of these ships are run, this ain't gonna run anything, but like even like the Enterprise, the TOS wasn't that bad. The refit's running, you know, as long as, I think as long as I stay, like the Falcon I think is running the most lights, and 2 amp one works fine for it. I should do a metering and see how much the ship is actually drawing, because I'd like to have it a little more. The more your power supply won't work so hard if it's got excess amperage than what your source is calling for. And like these little spares, always keep them for jumpers, as I always do. So we need to just strip this red carefully, because this red likes to break. But I think I have it set up for the red. And you can see why I put my old mat down here. A for the stain, and B, it's so easy to spill some solder on it. Now, can I get this to hook? And then can I get it to grab on there? There we go. There we go, simple as that. Yeah, since I drilled that hole deep, it can tuck in there. Now, how do I want to do that? The Enterprise, I did a, melted right in there pretty good. Usually the solder hits and cools so quick. I guess before we go any further, I should test that. Don't need that anymore. I might just super glue this one. Although epoxy would be better because it really grabs, and I think I can get away with a little super glue, you know, some of the thick super glue. Should use like a baking soda to cure it, because it adds like it adds thickness to it. If you use I think it's baking soda. will kick CA glue. But it gives it structure too, because all the little fine grains of, I'm putting a lot in there. It's wanting to ooze a little bit. Oh yeah, she's still. Oh, and none of it. A little bit of the oozing helped because then it hit the lip that comes out on side. So that's a good. Yeah, and I have those in a good place. I don't know if I can get some super glue right there. Hold it. And then my kicker sprays way too much, so I like to take the cap off. And I gotta do a switcheroo because I'm a righty. Oh, wants to glue my finger, but not to the wood. Unbelievable. There we go. Meanwhile, we got it out. There we go. Okay, we're back. Let's lift her up. Actually, let's first. Oh, I gotta tie in those lights up top again. That's right. It's like, why am my rotating lights not working? Alright. That's another reason why I want to be able to access this. See if we can get you in there and actually crimped. I tested it before and it worked. I hope that's just a sticky. Yeah. Looks like I got a nice shine on there. Alright, see if that did it. Let's see if I can do this without. Yep. I can just look up top to make sure they're working. Alright, that's it. There we go. Well, that's the base. It's just fighting me today. Let's give this a good tightening. But the nice thing is this dome comes off. But there she is. There's the base. And I have to say, what do we have left? Besides putting this top on. There's like a way it wants to go on. There it goes. It's perfect. You gotta kind of put the front in first. That worked fine for me. And I just got a light block. Like I said, it's mainly just gonna sit on top there. Let's see if we're quite in line. I would love for that to be back a little more, but no, it's looking good. Well, we come back. I believe that's really it. I mean, I'm going to touch up silver in here. But yeah, that looks great. But we'll do a reveal, you know, next next episode. It's got a little bit of a tilt, but that's okay. She's coming in for a hover, so I'm not crucial about all that. Let's make sure there's no gunk stuck to the bottom of this either. It doesn't fit down in tight, well. I mean, deep. But see, that falls down and don't look like the rest of it is. Mainly like this corner, and it used to because I was able to spin it. Like I said, we'll figure that out. I might have to give a little sanding because adding that extra clear coat might have just thrown it off just enough. Adding a little more thickness to it. Or is there anything in here? And then I do have to go in here and black those out. I might either use tulip or black masking tape. I have a black like stage tape. But there she is. Next episode we'll light her all up and I think we'll do a full-on reveal. Like I said, I just got to touch up those silver spots there, and but that's nothing. I'm just going to touch them up with a brush and then take a little clear, and we're going to clear on them. And I think I'm going to keep it like a satin clear or matte clear, keep the inside not as metallic. But that's it. I'm happy.